Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today we are going to pay our condolences to Imam Hussein for his beloved daughter Bibi Sakina. Now I will recite an introduction about Bibi Sakina. Who was Sakina? Sakina was the light of Fatima, the peace of Ali, the patience of Muhammad, the heart of her father Hussein, the princess of Zainab, the treasure of her brothers Akbar, Asghar and Zain al-Abidin, the courage and faith of her uncle Abbas. Now Sister Zainab is going to read a surah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يعوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم لا إكراه في الدين قد تبين الرشد من الغي فمن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله السميع العليم الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من النور إلى الظلمات أولئك أصحاب النار فيها خالدون. صلوات
They set fire on to the tent. All Sakina wanted was her dear father Imam Hussein.
Then Sister Suman is going to say a few words about Bibi Sakina, how she felt in prison.
In the prison in Damascus, Sakina would stare at the flock of birds flying to their nest. She asked Bibi Zainab, "Will we ever go home like those birds flying to their nests?" When Sakina cried for her father, instead of comforting her, a man from Yazid's army came and slapped her. Then he pulled her earring out. Blood poured from Sakina's ear.
Sister Sakina is going to read a poem.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम राय खुदा में शौक से सर को कटागे हुसैन जिसकी मिसाल नहीं है वो मर्तबा पागे हुसैन शाह अस्त हुसैन बादशाह अस्त हुसैन दीन अस्त हुसैन दीन पाना अस्त हुसैन सरदाद नादाद दस दर दस्ते यजीद हक्का की बिना ला इलाहा अस्त हुसैन इस्लाम जिंदा होता है हर करबला की बात.
Sisters Maryam, Zainab and Amina are going to recite a Mercia.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. बानो ये आफत को बतला रही है मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है बानो ये आफत को बतला रही है मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है कह दो हवाओं से आहिस्ता है कह दो परिंदों से गुलना मचाए कह दो अंधेरों से वापस न जाए कह दो अंधेरों से वापस न जाए जागी हुई चैन कुछ पा रही है मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है बानो ये आबिद को बतला रही है मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। शायद रसन की अजियत हुई कम, मत हम करो बीबियो शोर मातम। सजात जंजीर बोले ना इस दम, सजात जंजीर बोले ना इस दम। शायद गमों की घड़ी जा रही है, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। बानो ये आबिद को बतला रही है, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। कहाँ तक लिखूंगा मेरे हान नोहा, कभी शाम जाऊं तो देखो वो रोजा। जहाँ कैद बच्ची कमर कद है तन्हा, जहाँ कैद बच्ची कमर कद है तन्हा। जहाँ माँ बीबी कहे जा रहे हैं, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। बानो ये आबिद को बतला रही है, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। बानो ये आबिद को बतला रही है, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है।
Now I would like to ask Sister Ikra to recite a speech about Bibi Sakina.
Risalat Ya Rasulullah, Nare Haidari Ya Ali, Haidari Ya Ali, Nare Salawat Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. إذا جاء النصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjah.
Today we will be paying our condolences to Our Lady Bibi Fatima Zahra and to the household of the Ahlul Bayt. I felt my connection with Bibi Sakina alayhi salam when I was going to go to Ziyarat for the first time at the age of just 6 years old. The lessons of Karbala are for everyone, whether you're a child, a brother or sister, a father or a mother. We have every example of relationships within the event of Karbala. Today I'm going to focus on the relationship between a father and daughter, an uncle and niece, and a brother and sister. Sakina, the daughter of Imam Hussein, the niece of Hazrat Abbas, and the older sister of baby Aliaska. At the time, she was just 4 years old, but she was an extraordinary child. She enjoyed reading the Quran, she wore hijab, and she never missed her prayers. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjah.
She helped her mother, Rabab, care for her little brother, Aliaska. Her father, our Imam, was often heard saying, "A house without Sakina is not a home worth living in." You can imagine the love everyone had for her. Her uncle, Hazrat Abbas, always visited her, and she was very close to him. Like any uncle, if his niece asked him for anything, he would make sure he fulfilled her wish. She was a small light of the household, her father's princess. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjah.
At night, before going to bed, Imam Hussein would spend time with his daughter, telling her stories of her great-grandfather, our Prophet, peace be upon him, and stories of the great battles fought by her grandfather, Imam Ali alayhi salam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjah.
She listened attentively and loved her time with her father. When her eyes would grow heavy, she would lay her head on her father's chest and rest. He would not leave until she was fast asleep. When we think of a battle or war, we think of men fighting men. The Battle of Karbala was different. Yazid's army was of 2,000 or more men. Some of the best warriors were in his army. On the other side was Imam Hussein's army of 72 men, women and children. We need to think, why were there children and women with our Imam? It was because Yazid's army were after them since they were in Medina. Because it wasn't safe, they left on this journey. The army of Umar bin Saad followed them, and as the Prophet had said, the land of Karbala was where they stopped. When our Imam started his journey just after Hajj, he did have more people with him. Each time our Imam would say to them that I am going to battle that will end our lives, you have permission to leave. Slowly they left. By the time they came to Karbala, there was this handful of the followers of our Imam left with him. The army of the enemy had placed their tents near the water. They had blocked it off so that Imam Hussein's companions could not reach it. By the third day, the water started to run out. The heat affected the children the most. Where they used to be playing, they used to grow very silent. They were so thirsty. The children could be heard with small whispers, "Water, water." Then, as the days went by, even those small cries disappeared into silence. The children decided that they would tell Sakina to ask her uncle for some water. Surely he would listen to her and quench their thirst. A small, frail figure emerged from the tent. Weak from lack of food and from thirst, she was so different that it was hard to tell that she was the same child that had left Medina months before. She approached her uncle Abbas. He was shocked to see how she had changed, and she had always filled his heart with joy, and, seeing her like this, his eyes filled with tears. She asked him with a small voice, "Please, my uncle, please get us some water." Hearing this, he kissed her on her forehead and left to seek permission to go and get some water for the children. Our Imam gave him permission to go as long as he didn't fight the enemy. The children rose. A little strength came back to them in the hope that the Lion of Karbala will return. Little Bibi Sakina comforted them by telling them, "My uncle has gone. We will have water soon." As time passed, she waited in front of the tent for him, and slowly she realized that he would never return. It was the first time he had broken his promise to her. Later, as the day went by, her little brother Aliaska cried so much that their mother could not comfort him. His little mouth was so dry. Her father, Imam Hussein, came. He picked him up from his crib, wrapped him up in his cloak, and left. Bibi Sakina asked him, "Father, where are you taking my little brother?" Our Imam replied, "I will ask them to give him some water." She then stopped and looked at him. "Father, everyone that has gone today has not returned, my brothers and my uncle. No one has come back to us. Will Aliaska come back?" Her father replied back to her, "Yes, I will bring him back. He is just a baby." As time passed, her father returned, his hands covered in blood, his eyes filled with tears. The little princess of Bani Hashim saw so much pain. She lost her smile that day. As night fell, the women were left alone in the desert. Her father, Imam Hussein, left and did not come back from the battlefield. Soon the enemy came near the tents. Because the women would not leave, they set the tents on fire. They ran from tent to tent to take cover from the men. Her aunt, Bibi Zainab, tried to help the women and children, and she had to save our fourth Imam, Imam Zainul Abidin, who was so sick and could not get up from his bed. When she had gathered everyone together, she asked, "Where is Sakina?" Everyone looked around for her, but she could not be seen. With panic, Bibi Zainab began to look for her. How could she have lost her? She started searching in the dark for her. Sakina, Sakina, my dearest child, where are you? She called her. Soon she went towards the battlefield, and there she saw a small child laying down amongst the many bodies. She approached her, her heart filled with fear, for she thought that something had happened to her. What would she say to her mother, Rabab, who had already lost her son? She came near and put her hand on the small child. Sakina woke. Her aunt began to cry. My dearest Sakina, my child, why are you here? Sakina wiped her eyes and replied, My aunt, I was running away from the men that were chasing me. When one man stopped me, my aunt, he slapped me so hard that I started to cry. And remember the earrings my Baba gave me. He snatched them from me. Look at the blood. He didn't even let me take them off. I was still crying when I heard my Baba call me. I came towards him. He said, Come to me, my beloved daughter. When I came to him, I told him what had happened, how the man hurt me. I told him that I was tired, and then he said, Lie on my chest, Sakina, and rest for a little while. Soon the time came when they were all chained together. They walked for hundreds of miles until they reached Sham. In Sham, in a cold, dark prison, Bibi Sakina became a quiet child, always lost in deep thought. She missed her brother Ali Akbar, her father Imam Hussein, her uncle Abbas, but mostly she missed playing with her little brother Ali Asghar. Bibi Sakina died in that small prison in Sham. She dreamed that she would be by her father soon. In the cold, dark prison, she took her last breath. This is a small poem that I was inspired to write when I thought of the sadness and heartbreak that Bibi Sakina went through. I would like to share it with you. Father, I call out to you, I am your Sakina, I am your Sukoon. Each water bag brings tears to my eyes. My heart sighs. It brings back memories of a promise from your standard bearer. My uncle Abbas, the brave son of Haider. My hands tremble and shake. I ask for water. Was that my mistake? Father, I call out to you. I am your Sakina, I am your Sukoon. Father, all I want is to lie in your chest, to close my eyes for a moment and rest. Let me tell you about our burning tents that have set the night sky ablaze. Father, wipe away my tears. I'll tell you how my cheeks hurt, and the women uncovered are now left alone in the desert. Father, I call out to you. I am your Sakina, I am your Sukoon. Medina is no longer my home, a house without you. I cannot bear to be alone. When Asghar, Akbar, and my uncle are here too, how can we leave to go without you? Father, I call out to you. I am your Sakina, I am your Sukoon. Madam Hussain.
Hi Sakina, 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 Sakina, hi Sakina,
प्यास हाय 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 प्यास सुनाई किसने ये जिंदा में लोरी सकीना सो रही है सकीना सो रही है
خدا را زور سے بولے نہ کوئی، سکینہ سو رہی ہے، سکینہ سو رہی ہے۔ تمہارے گوشوارے مل گئے ہیں، در زندان سارے کھل گئے ہیں، رہائی مل گئی جاتی ہوں گھر کو، رہائی مل گئی جاتی ہوں گھر کو، مگر سجاد کی آواز آئی، سکینہ سو رہی ہے، سکینہ سو رہی ہے۔ بنانے قبر کو سجاد اٹھے، تو وہ ناد علی دہرا رہے تھے، بندے ہاتھوں سے چاہا قبر کھودیں، بندے ہاتھوں سے چاہا قبر کھودیں، اچانک پاؤں گی زنجیر چھنکی، سکینہ سو رہی ہے، سکینہ سو رہی ہے۔ نہ مارے گا کوئی بھی اب تماچے، نہ ہوں گے اب تیرے رخسار نیلے، گلا باندھا نہ جائے گا رسن سے، گلا نہ باندھ جائے گا رسن سے، جو آئے شمر تو اس سے کہوں گی، سکینہ سو رہی ہے، سکینہ سو رہی ہے۔ ادب کی جا ہے یہ ریحان دیکھو، بلند آواز میں ہرگز نہ بولو، یہاں تو فاتحہ بھی دیر پڑھنا، یہاں تو فاتحہ بھی دیر پڑھنا، یہاں آواز ہو جائے نہ اونچی، سکینہ سو رہی ہے، سکینہ سو رہی ہے۔
ہائے سکینہ ہائے پیاس، 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 یا حسین 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 یا حسین،
اللہم صلی علی
محمد
السلام علیکہ یا رسول اللہ، السلام علیکہ یا حبیب اللہ، السلام علیکہ یا امیر المؤمنین، السلام علیکہ یا سید البصیرین، السلام علیکہ یا فاطمۃ الزہرا، السلام علیکہ یا حسن المجتبیٰ، السلام علیکہ یا ابا عبداللہ حسین، السلام علی الحسین وعلی علی ابن الحسین وعلی اولاد الحسین وعلی اصحاب الحسین، خصوصاً ابو فضل العباس واختک زینب و امی کلثوم، السلام علیکہ یا علی ابن الحسین، السلام علیکہ یا محمد ابن علی، السلام علیک یا جعفر ابن محمد. السلام علیک یا موسیٰ ابن جعفر. السلام علیک یا علی ابن موسیٰ. السلام علیک یا محمد ابن علی. السلام علیک یا علی ابن محمد. السلام علیک یا حسن ابن علی یا حجت ابن الحسن یا صاحب الزمان. السلام علیک یا اہل بیت النبوہ ومعدن الرسالہ جميعا ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى